Good evening, guys, and welcome to United Real Therapy. After that performance, looks like we all need some therapy. Absolutely shocking performance. Absolutely shocking. First of all, I just want to big up everybody who turned out to the protest today. Fantastic turnout from Man United fans. Well done to everybody who turned out. And we go again. We keep the pressure on. Not a penny more online. I'm not taking any. This muppet now coming out chatting shit, this communication person. I don't know. Listen, who are you? Who the fuck are you? Who the fuck are you to go? Oh, so now Glazers now deserve a medal for paying the staff. I mean, some of the things he was coming out. One of the most softball fucking softball interviews ever by Sky. Shaming Sky. Shocking by Sky. That communication muppet needs to go back in his fucking drawing board, because we're not going to take that. We're going to be out again. And as we come to the game, what do we expect, guys? Come on now. Every Man United fan knows McFred are shite. We've been saying it all season. It doesn't need it to happen to a big game like that for it to be showing up. They were shit. And those errors, they were just errors, just basic mistakes. Basic. Every time we get pressed at the back, we can't. We start shaking. And fumbling like, It's just shocking, man. I mean, what's Shaw doing? How many times did Fred give the ball away? It's just shocking, man. It's absolutely shocking. Absolutely shocking. What that was. But let's talk about it, guys. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about that. I have to laugh because it's been coming. Everybody's been saying it. Yeah. Decker 90, tell me about it. This communication guy. Absolute muppet. And the Sky. Fuck Sky, mate. Fuck Sky. Pricks. They give him the most softball questions. The guy's like he's reading from a script. Oh, yeah, they've done fantastic. The owners, they care about the club. Because you said so. Shut the fuck up, you prick. Get back in your fucking hole, you little rat. Get back in your fucking hole, you rat. Defending those dickhead parasites. Fuck off. Shambolic performance, of course it is. Yeah. I mean, everybody's telling this guy, future captain of Man United. That's what people keep telling me. Future captain. This is who he is. And then all of a sudden, he goes to centre half and he starts hitting long balls over the top. When he can't pass the ball from midfield, which is closer to the attackers, why does he think he can pass the ball to Rashford from centre back? It's just absolutely shocking. Absolutely shocking. But I'll say it again. Looks like a lot of you are in here. I'll say it again. Brilliant turnout. Fantastic turnout for every one of the fans who turned up today. There's about 3,000 to 4,000 people there today. I don't care what Sky or any of those dickheads tell you. I saw it with my own eyes. It's about 3,000 or 4,000 fans turned up. And we did everything to try to get fans tried. They tried everything to try to get this game stopped. But unfortunately, it was a barricaded Old Trafford. You know what I mean? You were in Checkpoint Charlie. That's what Man United looked like. Outside Man United looks like Checkpoint Charlie people. Those of you who don't know Checkpoint Charlie, during the Cold War, Berlin was divided. You had East Berlin, West Berlin, and that's what Old Trafford looked like with the amount of things that are up there. But yeah, man. Yo, trust me, people. Trust me. To me, I already got my therapy. I saw on a Thursday night, in a night, I saw fans from local areas, and I found fans from all over Manchester turn out to that protest and did everything since this afternoon. People were at that protest since maybe 3-4 o'clock, try to do some things. You know what I mean? That's what fans were doing. They would try to do stuff from 3-4 o'clock this afternoon. And I got to absolutely big them all up because I was getting worried thinking that, you know what, maybe everything's gone quiet. You know what I mean? Everything's gone quiet. It just shows it, doesn't it? But at the end of the day, we were out there. We were protesting and it was a good togetherness. And, you know, young, again, kids, you know what I mean? Women, men, everybody, young, old, everybody was out there, Glazers out, united. It was a proper united. And then try to see if we can, some people did, see if they can stop the Liverpool coach. By that time, he's already got in. And they put that dummy coach, didn't they? Some United fans tried to block them with their cars. Apparently, the tyres were slashed. Yeah, looks like the police and everybody, they spent some time working everything out. Don't be surprised if they went in by cars. I would not be surprised if Liverpool players went in by cars, because I didn't see their coach. But yeah, Fred gave the ball away because McTominay was hiding from the ball. He had no one to pass to. McTominay had six. Well, we already know, guys. I mean, come on, guys. Who are we trying to kid? Who are we trying to kid? That was an absolute shambolic performance. Shambolic performance, that was. And still, it could have been 3-3 because, you know, our forwards are doing their bit, and I thought Greenwood could have, other than try to place it, try to hit the perfect shot, he could have equalised to make it 3-3. But at the end of the day, to be honest with you, Liverpool deserved it. Liverpool were by far the better team. We've got to say that. We've got to put our hands up and say it. What we were watching there was shambolic. It was saying players just losing composure, players getting pressed and didn't have a clue, but giving the ball away. Giving the ball away. I have never known two midfield players who give the ball away as much as Fred and McTominay, and who are so pressed, who get easily pressed and start panicking. I've never known. I have absolutely never known. Well, that is well. That happens as well. But at the end of the day, Matic was shocking his own when he came. And Matic is finished. I'm sorry, Soleimani. I'm sorry to say that, but Matic is finished. Matic is finished. Absolutely finished. Yeah. You know what? Like, come on. You know what? If any of you have got computers, I'll put the link from this on the chat. Maybe I'll see if I can put the link on the chat. And see if you guys want to come on. Maybe you can come and have your say. Come and have a conversation with me about the game. So any of you us for it coming on with me and talking about the game? If I put the link, I mean, if any of you come on here and start taking the mic, you know what I mean? I'll have to start blocking you or whatever. But if you want to have your say, I'll put the link. So take one at a time. You can come on, and I'll see you on here, and then you can come and have your say about what you saw tonight, what you think about the protest. Yeah. So if you want to do that, guys? Any of you guys up for it? I'm inviting you guys. Deco 90, Soleimani, Lacey. If you want to come, you don't have to show your face either. You can just be a voice, but you come and have your say what you thought about the game. Do you want to do that, guys? Let's do it. Let's do it, guys. Come on, let's get some. I've been promising you this anyway for a while, so let's do it, guys. Let's do it. Let's get interacting. Brilliant, Malcolm. That's what I like to hear. That's what I like to hear, Malcolm. Come on, have your say. Come on, have your say, guys. Let's turn this into a real interactive channel, because at the end of the day, like I said, I'm a bit knackered. My throat. I was singing, you know what I mean? My throat is gone, and I need some of you guys to come on, analyze that. I mean, to me, it's nothing for me to rant or go crazy about. Every Man United fan understands and knows that. You know what I mean? We all know, we all understand what was happening there. So all of you understand and know about how crap Man United are. So yeah. Am I still live, guys? Can you still hear me? Am I still live? Am I still live? Can you still hear me? There we go, Malcolm. There we go. Nice to put a you know what I mean? Put a face to a name. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah. Come on, have your say, man. Have your say, brother. Come on.
Yeah. Like all I first of all, I just want to say, Glaze is out. Um, yeah, Glaze is out. Get them out once for all, please.
Yeah,
And
we're doing
second
our
of all, I
best.
just want to
Trust
say,
me.
yeah,
We're doing our
yeah.
best.
Then second of all, I just want to say, Eid Mubarak to all the Muslims out there,
Yeah, man.
especially day for them.
Yeah.
To give, yeah, exactly. So, um,
Where are
man.
you based, bro? Where are you based?
Oh, I'm in Maryland, but I was born in Maryland, but I'm from Rwanda.
Ah, big up, man. Big up
Yeah.
East Africa in the house.
Yeah.
Oh no. So you're in Maryland, US.
Yep.
What time is it over there right now?
Right now it's 5:45 p.m.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. There
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
go. Amazing. So it's all right. So it's all right time actually for you when the game kicked off, yeah? It's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you think
Yeah.
about that performance? What can you tell me about that performance? What stood out for you?
Honestly, I just feel like it's just the poor decision making. Our defense was just atrocious. I just you know especially now that Maguire is out. We struggled to hold our lead, and so we gave Liverpool a lot of like uh you know we gave Liverpool the ball to create chances.
Hmm.
So I just feel like I mean, I'm not too, but I just feel like you know we should have done better. Um, I don't know about these other United fans, but I still want Ole out. Like I know that we're in second, and yes, but I just feel like he still needs to improve his man management. Like his management is still poor. He's still using that same midfield tool of McFred, and it's I just don't like that partnership. And
Yeah,
then
I mean, just to say to you, I think Ollie's done remarkably well with the players that he has. I personally think that he's done really, really well, considering how this season has rolled. It's been really difficult. It's been a very difficult season, and because of the truncated, like no preseason, how you know what I mean? We had the rest, then we had the restart, then and then straight away we went into the next season. So I think they've done well, but I can't. To me, he makes poor decisions, especially with McTominay. I think tonight,
exactly,
if any
exactly.
no other night, I hope he's found out tonight about Fred and
Yeah,
McTominay.
he's been found out so many times with this midfield partnership, because you have someone like Van de Beek, so technical. You know, like man was doing roulettes at the Bernabeu against Real Madrid. Like what was it, 2 years ago?
2 years
With
ago.
Ajax. So
Yeah.
that just tells you everything you need to know about this guy. But he still keeps McTominay on the pitch, and then he takes off Fred for Greenwood. Like why?
No,
Like
no. To be fair, Fred had to go. Fred was that
yeah,
bad.
Fred. Oh yeah, Fred had to go. Fred had to go, but he just yeah, Fred had to go. But I just
Fred,
yeah,
Fred
yeah.
was playing against us. You know what I mean? I said it to Fred. I was like, bro,
I,
I
he
swear
has a,
the
he,
guy's playing against us today, man. He's playing
he has
against
a,
us.
he has a full passport. Like he has a false nationality. He's not
Yeah,
Brazilian.
bro.
He's
The
not
man's
Brazilian.
playing.
I know.
The man's playing like he's from Stoke, man. You know what I mean? Tony Pulis performance, man, in
Yeah.
midfield. Yeah,
No,
yeah.
but I just feel like even though Fred, even though yes, of course Fred had to come on. He was really poor today, but I just feel like McTominay should have come off, because we were looking for a goal, and we were like, three. Rashford had scored the second goal, so we
Mhm.
needed to, you know, we needed to push for that second goal. So that's why I felt like Van de Beek had to come on. But
Mhm.
of course with Ole, he's always all about that passion mission. You
Exactly.
know, always about working hard.
Mhm.
It's not
No, no,
my.
no, listen, I understand. To me, Roma, it showed, when Van der Beek played. The thing about it is that the biggest thing about Ole is that he never uses his bench and then he throws them in at these times,
Mm,
right? Because he's not been using them throughout the season. They're not match fit. Like Bailly, you can tell he's not match fit. You can see
yeah,
Van der
even
Beek's not
Rusty.
match fit. They need about
Mm,
4 or 5 games for them to get match fit to get to get up to
exactly,
speed,
exactly,
and then
exactly.
they're not match fit. So it just
Mm,
shows. It just shows. Like Even, I mean, bringing Matic on, I thought you could have bought Tuanzebe to add a bit more energy in midfield. You know what I mean? Even that would have, to me personally, I couldn't see that working. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. We're gonna talk about it. You know what? Casey Stoney, we got a big up Casey Stoney because
Oh yeah. I saw about that. Yeah.
yeah, the women's team. I mean, just to give a background context to people, the Stoney has been is the first manager of any team in a Man United to resign after the shambolic treatment by Manchester United of the women's team in terms of the facilities and how they've been treated. Manchester United women were always treated horrendously because the Glazers are all about money. Once they're not bringing any money in and they think they can't make money from them, they will just get rid of them. That's what they will do. They will get rid of them. And it's absolutely, to me, I have absolutely nothing but love and respect for her and for the dignity, because at the end of the day, the Glazers and the club structure gave her absolutely no other way for her but to. This is what I'm saying. It's not even the end of the season. She could have left at the end of the season, but
Yeah.
and she's come out and said, "I'm leaving." Irfan, you joining us? Obviously, we watched that shambolic performance, but the protest went really well. We had about 3,000-4,000 people out there. Obviously, it was a lot of heavy police presence, and it was difficult for the fans to try to make an impact as we did on a couple of Sundays ago. But at the end of the day, it was a good turnout, good United team, and we came out and we did what we had to do.
Oh, cool. So, I mean, in the gym today, they were talking about it. So I wasn't sure because I saw the barricades. So I wasn't actually sure it was going to happen. But then I saw the pictures online. So I'm sort of glad it did happen. But like I said, you know, it just needs to grow and grow. It can't stop. It's got to keep going. It just has to keep going. And hopefully next season gives it a chance to organize and get it bigger and bigger. You know, I knew the police would come back. I know the establishment would come back to make sure football went on, because like I said, most of this lot don't care about, you know, United's owners. They just want the show to roll on, and so everyone can make their money, advertising the sponsors, everyone's happy. Yeah. But hopefully, it's a big respect to all the fans that made it today. Big respect to all of them.
Yeah. Big respect to every one of them. Big respect to every one of them who turned out. It was brilliant. This is Malcolm. Malcolm is in Maryland in the US.
Oh wow, in Baltimore.
Yeah.
No. I'm in Potomac, but which is an hour away from Baltimore.
Okay, Maryland. So, Baltimore's the biggest state in Maryland.
Yeah.
You know, we know the wire. We know the wire. You know.
The Wire. Those of you who don't know, people, The Wire.
Greatest TV show ever made. It might be the most brutal, but the most creative I've ever seen.
Those of you who don't know, young ones, you talk about Sopranos, you're talking about Breaking Bad.
They got nothing on
none of that. Don't even come close.
Yeah.
The Wire is the greatest television series in the history of television.
Without a doubt.
Not even close. Every couple of years, I have to watch it again. But you know what? He's with us, and he's clearly for the things that he said. What did you think about the game, Irfan? What did you think about the game?
To be honest with you, right, it was a strange one because we looked good for 20 minutes, right?
We scored.
We scored the first goal.
And remember, we pressed very well, okay?
Definitely.
Now, I had my watch on, my camera, and I was looking at it, but then we lost the game, self-destructed, from 35 minutes to 65 minutes. We self-destructed. And what also happened was the fatigue factor really showed, because we couldn't keep it going. So, you know, I knew that they'd played 2 games in 19 days. 2 games they've played, yeah. So they were up for it, and plus they had the motivation. So, you know, it was a poor defeat, a very, very bad defeat, but it also exposed how bad our defensive midfield is. Exposed them. They fully got exposed today, like never before. This was the biggest slap for McTominay and McFred you could get. So anyone who knows anything about football needs to wake up and see that if you keep these 2 guys in there, you're not going to go anywhere. Okay.
Exactly.
You can even talk about your right wingers and your strikers, but the most important position is these 2. You have to get next level with these 2. Otherwise, United going nowhere, right?
Yep.
Now, to be honest with you, Pogba, my main guy, he did nothing in this game, and he was at fault for that goal. Okay,
Yeah, he was.
Right. So I was very down on him Shaw wasn't in same self. Bruno was like crying like a baby, you know.
Shaw gave them a goal because
Yeah.
the guy just got caught. We thought we'd get away with it, and then Shaw starts to dribble the ball, just whack it.
But Nuruddin, do you know what that game was? Yeah, but
He's starting to believe the hype about this Roberto Carlos business.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Get rid of it, man.
Nuruddin.
Carlos and all that. Sure,
Yeah, but that goal. That defeat was like the first 3 we lost at the start of the season. It was just like that. It was just like the first 3 losses at the start of the season where we were goat club. So
to me, it showed how you play midfield, right?
Yeah.
Thiago,
Yeah.
right? What's his name? Willie Allen and
Ronaldo.
Wijnaldum.
And Fabinho absolutely ran the show. Fabinho was taking the mick out of us.
Yeah, but Nuruddin, they are the 3 of the top midfielders in the country. They are 3 of the top. You know, the gap was huge. You know, that's what I'm saying. It was huge. But, you know, hopefully this will give because, look, losing to Leicester hurts, but losing to Liverpool is the big one.
Jay,
So,
you know what? I just want to just to reply to this. JB says, "Hope Sancho leaves now and joins." Listen, what is Sancho going to do to fix our midfield, bro?
He's not going to do anything. We're going to have the same problems.
Can I just say something about that comment about JB? No, I honestly I just even though I like Sancho, I just don't want to keep hearing that story about Sancho, about him coming. I just feel like Sancho is not all. He's not the answers to all of our problems. We still need a DM. We still need a creative midfielder. We still need a proper centre back. You know, I don't trust Lindelof, and then Bailly. You know, Bailly's been rusty. You know, injury prone, and so Sancho's not going to help us because even if you get Sancho, you're still going to have the same problems.
Of course. Any Man United supporter who knows that. Anyone who watches the game carefully knows that. You know, I mean, I didn't think Bailly had a bad game. I thought it was okay considering, but him and Wan-Bissaka played Jota on for the first goal. They played him on. You know, so it's hard to say.
Irfan, to be fair, you're talking about space of 20 yards.
No. I was going to say
everybody's in the box. The player runs away. The midfielders who's supposed to go and press him, let them all run. The centre half, dopey centre half, Liverpool runs away, and then he turns, and they let him turn with nobody following him to get the ball back in. So
of course. I don't blame him for that.
I can't blame him.
I wasn't blaming him.
I'm telling you now who I blame. Who was at a shocking game?
McTominay.
No, not McTominay. At the back, the 2 guys who were shocking was Lindelof and Shaw.
Sure, yeah.
They both cost us a goal each. Yeah. They were horrendous. And then Pogba cost it was just individual error after individual error. And then we can't create nothing. After that first 20-25 minutes, after that the game was done. We rallied for 10 minutes at the end. I mean, listen, even if Greenwood would have scored, I'm telling you, I think Liverpool would have won. Liverpool had gears to go. I mean, like I said, they rested their fan. They rested. So all of them rested except for Bailly. Bailly had an excuse, but the rest of them didn't have any. What excuse have they got?
Yeah. No, it's true. Like I said, you know, Bailly had an excuse because he's still not match fit yet. He isn't, you know, and I think he still did well. He was composed a lot of time. But calamity Man United turned up today. Calamity. In the one game you don't want to turn up because, let's be honest, we should have just played the A team against Leicester if we're going to do this. Why don't we just play the top team against Leicester then? Why didn't we just do that? This is crazy. But look, this just shows that the level, the ceiling above, you know, it's not going to be easy to break that. Let's be honest, you know, because I blame everyone. I blame the players slopping off. I blame Ollie. I blame lots of things in this. But obviously, I blame the structure, the lack of structure more than anything else. It always starts with that. Even when I don't look for the reason to blame anybody, the structure just is always there. It never lets me down, the fact we don't have any structure. So it goes back to the same thing again, right? This is what United fans need to get into the head. This will go on as long as these guys are in charge. It will continue. You can bring in, no matter what manager you bring in, Nothing's going to change unless you change the structure. Nothing will. Every loss is on there.
I mean, let's talk about it. There's rumours already. Neil Ashton is putting the feelers out there that Richard Arnold, another Bristol University accountant, right, is going to take over Ed Woodward's position. So how's that going to fix anything? How's that?
This is exactly what the Glazers want. This is the kind of people that the Glazers want. These kind of people for them to cover them up. You know, like this is exactly what they hired Ollie, so that they, this legend of the football club, just to come here, appease the fans, just for him to like cover them up. Ollie's a puppet for the Glazers.
Of course.
You know what? To be fair to Ollie, so was Fergie. Fergie kept saying there was no value in the market, and he's one of the greatest managers.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
He's the reason. Let's be real. He is the reason why we have the Glazers. I mean, they had small shares. They had small shares from 2000, from early on, but the Glazers, because he fell out with the two Irishmen who owned the horses.
Yeah.
They sold their shares to the Glazers. Yeah. So
this is the thing. This is the thing, though, Nerdin. None of the United fans like to criticize God Ferguson. No one likes to do it. But I tell everyone, he is a big part to blame in the fact with these Glazers. He's a big part of it. And the fact he covered for them for so many years while he was there. He covered for them. Because if he was a real trade union that he was, the shop steward from Govan, if he was still that guy and not this multimillionaire, he would be with us. But he's there.
I want your honest opinion. Honestly, seriously, honest opinion. Kinsella and Irfan. So, Malcolm, you go first. How much of a big difference today would Maguire made in that game? I personally, let me just say my piece. I don't think he would have made any difference because they were all from individual errors. Yeah. It wasn't about shape or whatever. It was individual errors. So I'm thinking, if the way we got pressed and the way we were thinking that Shaw's thinking he's this, and how many times did we give the ball? McTominay give the ball away. How many times did Fred give the ball away? How many did Lindelof give the ball away? How many did Shaw give the ball away? It was just absolute shambles. So I'll ask you, do you think Maguire would have made a massive difference in this game?
I see what you mean, because we've been seeing the partnership of Maguire and Lindelof almost like every game, and it doesn't seem to change. But I just feel like, if you're talking about important.
Deco, can you still hear me, bro? Yeah?
Yeah, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you. I'm just letting Malcolm finish his point, and then I'll come to you. Welcome to the channel, bro.
Yeah, man. Welcome to the channel.
I mean, I think
can you find
if he was, I just feel like, I think if he was playing today, I don't think we would have. I don't think we would have had this. The performance would have been as bad. I mean, like we would have still lost, but I don't think it would have been as bad as today, because I feel like Maguire has played more games than Bailly, and the thing is that the reason why we lost is because Bailly hasn't played enough games. He's only played like what? He hasn't played enough games. So I just feel like even though the partnership of Maguire and Lindelof would have made it. I'm not saying that Maguire would have gotten us the win today, but I feel like it wouldn't have been as bad of a performance as today if he was in the team.
Right. I'm just going to welcome Deco to the channel. Welcome, Deco. Been a long time interacting with you online, brother. Get to hear your voice. If you want to answer that one there. If you want to answer that, somebody just replied. Somebody just said before, Deco. Somebody said before that Maguire would have made a difference, and then Masji to just come back and said we got slapped 6-1 by Spurs with Maguire in the team, and he was a lot of the calamity, a lot of the mistakes was coming from him as well. But Deco,
I think like looking at the whole season, I think the evidence is there that's been shown that even with Maguire, there's always individual mistakes. It's always the same. You look at how the team plays as a unit. There's always an error. I mean, set pieces all season have been the killer. It just breeds a lack of confidence throughout the whole team. Maguire goes missing, and someone else comes in, and it's like, oh, we missed him. Martial's out the team, we missed him. There's always something. But I think if you have a look at our performances individually, as a team throughout the whole season, it's lacking, and it's always like clutch moments. So like, you have a look at Rashford. Look at his performance in the last couple of games. Like, you would think he's playing bad. He'll come up with a goal. He'll come up with an assist. You're looking at Bruno doing something. You're looking at Pogba doing something. But as a team, in my view, it's never there. As you know, as a whole, it's not often I can look at one game and go, "Yeah, that was a good team performance." It's always someone played well, someone played bad. It's never throughout the whole team.
Yeah, there's no. Yeah, I mean that's interesting because when I look at other teams, to be fair, they get similar as well. I don't see all the other teams putting amazing team performances. Other than the quality players Man City have. Man City have the biggest squad. Chelsea have the biggest squad. You know what I mean? They can change. They can just make 5-6 changes on no problem.
I think that's fair, but I think if you have a look at Liverpool today, who would you say like were the standout players?
I thought the midfield was brilliant. I thought Thiago.
Yeah, that's what I mean. But that's like what? That's the whole unit, isn't it?
Fabinho was brilliant. As a team, they moved the ball well.
That's what I mean. Yeah. Same as Man City. You look at it, the whole team. They have players that come up with goals, assists. But as a team, they're normally all on it, and that's the difference.
Yeah. I mean that's what we have to chase. But I personally believe. I think some of our fans think some of the players that we've got in our squad are better than what we think. They're better than what people think they are. I don't think the quality is there. I'm still like Lindelof. I've been saying it for a long, long time.
Yeah, but can we just say
not good enough? Lindelof is not good enough.
Yeah. Can we just say about Maguire though? Look, Maguire's been better for the last couple of months. He's been stable.
100%.
He hasn't been making mistakes, right? Now in this game, let's be honest, their press is what devastated us today. Their energy in the press basically gave our players the jitters, and that's where the mistakes came from. And fatigue is a reason as well, but it was also their press. So it was their game management, okay? Because when you press United, especially with those two midfielders and that defense, that's how you beat them. You beat them all. You don't have to be a good team to beat United. That's what you got to do. You got to make sure you press them. Brighton do it. You know, teams at the bottom, even Burnley do it. A lot of the teams can do it. You know, Southampton did it before we mashed them up. Anyone with a press can beat us, right? So what it is we have to be on our A game to beat a team against a press. Now, going back to Maguire, I would say that, you know, this game is about continuity. You need the same people around you. You need to keep them there. The problem is when Maguire's been poor, Lindelof is a little bit better. When Maguire gets better, Lindelof goes back to being poor again. None of these two guys are consistently solid all the way, okay? So, but I still think the midfield is a bigger problem than the defense. The defense is the next big problem, is after the midfield. So this is the problem. So I would have liked to have Maguire in the team, you know, but I don't want Lindelof in the team. I want Lindelof to be the guy that gets the 1 in 3 or occasionally brings him on. I want Bailly or even Twanzebe to be the guy next to Maguire. That's what I want. But Ollie doesn't see that. Ollie loves his Scandinavian brother. Oh yeah, this guy loves him. And the way he gets pushed off the ball, it irritates the hell out of him. It irritates the hell out of him.
I mean, here's the thanks, Windy. Windy Grant is just saying, if it's individual errors, why are folks blaming Ollie? Well, the only thing I blame Ollie is the fact that when he says he comes out and says the Glazers have backed him, he doesn't have to say that, Windy. He doesn't have to say that. We all know the Glazers have not backed him. We all predicted that we would have finished 6th or 7th this season, and unfortunately, look like we might finish second. Still, it's in our hands. We're the same game total, but we've got to win the last 2 games. We've got to beat Fulham. Is it Fulham and then Wolverhampton away? Isn't it? That's our last game to finish. So that's what we've got to do to try to finish second. But no way did I ever think that Man United would finish second. One thing for me, if Ollie doesn't fix this midfield in the summer, and he persists with them, I'm telling you now, by Christmas we're going to be laughing and we'll be out of the top 4, and the Glazers will pull the trigger. If the Glazers think Man United are not going to make the Champions League, they're going to pull the trigger. So all of that protecting the Glazer business, I don't think is going to help him, because I'm not saying for him to come out and say Glazers out. All he has to say is, but because we can say I've got a good working relationship with him, just keep it at that. Why do you have to come out and say when we know United leak like a sieve? Ollie's not been back, and if he's been back, why is he treating Van der Beek like that? Because we all know that Ollie didn't ask for Van der Beek. He didn't. He wanted Grealish. We all know that. We all know he wanted Grealish. But I'll come to you, Malcolm. What do you think? Do you think Man United can still finish second? And how do you think what do you think? Look, going forward, what do you think? Do you think McTominay and Fred? Do you think Irfan's right saying that today the Liverpool team rested? You know, they were rested for about nine days or whatever they've been resting. They just had more energy and they wanted it more. Should we just put it down to that, or could we say today McTominay and Fred got exposed for what they are, and Lindelof got exposed for what he is? I'm sure, even though he's been brilliant, he's been one of the best players this season. Today, he made basic errors, basic defending errors.
I think we'll make second. I have no doubt about that. We'll make second. I think we'll beat Fulham. Wolves, I think it will be a tough game because it's always that it's always tough when we face Wolves. It's always a tough game when we face Wolves. But I think we'll just about make second. I think going forward, we definitely have to get rid of McFred. We need to get a proper DM. I just feel like McTominay is very limited in what he does. You know, still just passing back. You know, he's like every time we're on a counter attack, whenever he gets the ball, he just spoils the attack. He just keeps passing. You know, just basic passing. You know, because I just don't. This thing that irritates me about McTominay. So we need to sort that out. I mean, yeah, you could say that. Yeah, with the schedule, yes, Liverpool rested more than us. You know, we played a game. We played a game before, a day before. So I just feel like today was the day where all his tactics were exposed. You know, playing McFred, and you know, I just hope that it teaches a lesson to all of that. He needs to learn from his mistakes, because I just cannot afford to see this midfield fund.
Let me come back at you there. But who else is he going to play? We already know he doesn't rate Van der Beek, and Van der Beek's not match fit. So and that's why Van der Beek looks like a guy who's not match fit, because you need 4 or 5 games at top of football to get your match fitness to become sharp and to know the position. So what other options did he have? He's got Matic, and Matic's legs have gone. So other than to play McFred, what other options does he have this season to go? To me, it's next season. All eyes will be on next season. If he perseveres with Scott McTominay and Fred in midfield, and he thinks that we're going to do something, definitely. And I agree with here. I've been shouting out.
Better coaches.
Let's say I've been saying
that's a good comment.
How many times do we concede from set? Every time Man United concede a corner, and my heart rate goes up. I'm like that. I'm like we're gonna score, and that's what happened. That's what happened today. Liverpool bullied us. Liverpool that are not even without Van Dijk. Van Dijk is their most present, and Gomez in the air.
Nat Phillips looked like Sergio Ramos today.
That's what I'm saying. Exactly.
Sergio Ramos.
I mean, where was the midfield to press him? How can he go as a dopey centre half and go and then whip the ball back in? Nobody follows him. Where's the midfield? Fred and McTominay both standing there, and that's why I can't blame the defenders, because in that Irfan, it's a tight packed box, and they're on the 6 yards, and you don't know who's onside or who's not onside. But
I don't blame him for that goal. I don't blame him.
I mean, Pogba, it was an individual error again. So definitely, I understand what Windy's saying. We can't just blame all on Oli. Players have got to take responsibility. But the bottle job thing is in them. The bottle job thing never goes away with this team. And the only way you get rid of a bottle job tendencies is having quality, guaranteed quality on the pitch. I thought the captaincy got to him today. I thought he was trying to do too much. I thought he was making the game about himself. But I'll ask the same question to you, Deco90. What do you think? Do you think that, all things considering, where we thought Man United, because Ole didn't get back, I mean, whether we like it or not, he might be doing fantastic now, Cavani, but he's been injured last part of the season. And that was a panic buy on the last day, because he was ready for Boca Juniors or the MLS. You know what I mean? He was a guy who didn't play football for 6 months. So, all in all, do you think a Europa League final and finishing second is good enough for the season, for the global pandemic, for everything, you know, what's happening with elite footballers in terms of they don't have their usual relaxing time away from football? Do you think?
Yeah, to be honest, like I've been quite critical of Oli in the past, but I always said this season I felt if he got top 4 and a trophy, because to me, Man United standard is a trophy. You know, top 4. If you're second, you may as well be 4th to me. I think we've shown that in the Champions League, if we can't handle it, it's almost not worth being in it. All we're doing is just giving the players money.
I totally agree with you, and I always say,
No,
what's the point of qualifying for the Champions League if we're going to get knocked out in the group stages?
Yeah, that's the way I looked at it. So to me, if he gets top 4, top 2 even better, but if he gets top 4 and a trophy, I would say, yeah, our job done. And then next season, then it's his job to kick on again, because I think what we do at Man United, we get into a pattern where it's kind of like it's a process, but the process never actually changes.
Mm-hmm.
You just get the Glazer process where there's get a manager, back him, he does well, then you don't back him, then you sack him, start again.
And then we go again.
And I think that's where we're headed again. Yeah, I can pretty much see the next, I think by December, it'll either be massive pressure where we've probably underachieved, or it's appeared that we've underachieved because of the season we've had now. And he could be gone. That's what I think will happen.
Irfan, coming to you.
Yeah.
What do you think about what's your answer to that question?
Sorry, I missed the question. A question about Ollie, you mean?
No, I'm just saying to you, all things considering, what I'm saying, you've not been listening, have you? Been looking at your phone? Come on, Irfan. I asked the same question to Malcolm and to Deco 90.
Go on, sorry.
Basically, what I've said was that all things considering, when we know that Ollie was not backed in the summer properly, because we knew the things that the players that he wanted and he never got them, and with the truncated season to the big, the season ending and then 2 weeks later the season starting, what we thought we were all going to finish 6th or 7th. Let's be honest. All things considering, do you think? I think Ollie's done a good job, all things considering, because it's been a weird, mad season. It's been a global pandemic, and to keep that contained and to try to put out a team every week. The only thing I would criticize Ollie for is that he has too many favourites, and you don't need to do that. And he should have made use of his squad earlier. And if they would have not been good enough, we would have seen it for ourselves and would have said, okay, he's got nobody else other than Fred McTominay, so they have to play. But do you think next season? Do you think that what do you envisage? I know it's quite a long way away in terms of we don't know what United are going to buy. What do you think will happen next season?
Well, if I was just to sort of summarize where we are at the moment, even after today's loss, it's still the general season has been a positive. Whether you like Ollie or not, whatever's going on, we have improved from where we were. So that is the general picture, is improvement. Okay, you can't take that away. I don't care how much of a bitter Ollie out fan you can't take that away. He stabilized the club. He's developed his man management skill from where we were last year to being his team that could, once it went behind, we were going to lose, right? From that team to come back. So he's developed a lot of spirit. He's done a lot of things behind the scenes that are good. Okay, so no one can deny that. And I'm not Ollie's biggest fan because I don't see him as a tactician, but I blame the coaches for that, not just him. Okay, right. So that's the good side of it. Okay, he's stabilized the club and he's made us into a few steps up the ladder. Okay, but the next level is big. The gap is big because Chelsea's got a better squad than us, and so have City. Okay, they've got a better. I'd even say Leicester and what they called. Who else is there below them? There's even Liverpool, I'd say, are almost on par with our squads. Perhaps, that's the difference between the two teams at the moment. But the negative side to Ollie is his man management with in terms of choosing players to play. He hasn't played Tuanzebe enough. He hasn't played Baye enough. He hasn't played Van de Beek enough. He hasn't given the squad rotation as much as he wants. And I know he wants stability. I know he wants McFred. I know he wants them. I know he wants his people every week because you need continuity. But you still have to give the other players time. No matter what you like, you got to give them time. So that's on him. So I do blame him for that. Okay. Now next year, again, like I said, unless he's he can push to get these players, and not ask for players and get players he doesn't want, I can't see it changing. I cannot see it because look, let me throw it back to you and say, this could be a freak season where we did well, and we could go back to being 5th or 6th next year. That can easily happen. And that's the thing I'm trying to say. You just don't know with this Man United team. You don't know how much it's improved permanently because until you get the squad, you'll never know.
I mean, I'm genuinely worried. I'm genuinely, because I think this team could have hit their ceiling. Because I think next season we're never going to come back like that, because at the end of the day, two things are going to come into play when we go on away games. It's the fans and fans, the home supporters for all these teams we go away to. They're going to have a massive say. People forget how much fans in stadiums build pressure on referees, how much they lift their own players. That's why we've lost, 6 games or 5 games at Old Trafford. That's what we've lost, you know? So this team needs refreshing. This team, and I'll say it again and say it again. We need four first team players, and this is where I agree with Windy. Fred McTominay, Lindelof, Baye are squad players who are starters on this squad. This means we have no backups for the backups, no structure. That's why, Windy, my first name is Structure, my middle name is Structure, and my last name is Structure. That's because that's what I just say it. I've been saying it for years and years when nobody was listening to me, and all of a sudden everybody's like, "Oh, okay, this is what's happening." But it's absolutely shocking that Man United are in this situation where we're that far behind. We're that far behind, and the blame only goes with it. So I'm gonna come to you tonight. Some absolute muppet of a muppet communications guy has come out, and Sky, shame on Sky. Shame on Sky, because they gave him the most softball interview, Irfan. It looks like he was reading from a script. It looks like the guy was holding up a page for him. The guy was asking him the question, we're holding a page of a script, and he was reading it out. He basically said, Glazers care about this club because they didn't put they didn't furlough anybody. They paid the staff.
Because he's still the job.
That's why, and he said they care about this club. They really care about this club because they didn't sack anybody else, and they pay the staff. I mean, talk about low bar. Talk about low bar.
Corporate media support corporations. That's what they do. They hand and glove these people. Are you not surprised by that?
Just ask Deco, Malcolm. Malcolm, did you see that? Did you see the little speech by the communication director? Did you see him? Some communication muppet. It looks like some little rock. I don't
think I saw it, but after you just said it right now I know. So I don't think I saw it.
It's some little muppet. He's just coming out, literally a little muppet. The Glazers dragged from somewhere, and he's like, "Oh, they care about the club." And the guy, they only asked him one question: "What other things? What steps have they gone?" And he's like, "At the moment, Joe Glazer will appear on the fans forum, and he'll be, you know, we're gonna be waiting. We're using different avenues. What avenues are you using to contact the fans? What avenues? What is there? Some secret? Why does it have to be secret? You say this is how we're gonna address these things. But the fact that they've not communicated with anyone for 16 years shows me that and still we've not heard from one of the Glazers. The only time we ever heard from them is when they came to Old Trafford when they bought the club. Deco 90, did you see that muppet or some muppet giving a job to communication director? What did you think of that?
I was just laughing. To me, that just symbolizes the ownership that we got. This guy is the head of communication, and like no one's heard of him. If that doesn't symbolize what the Glazers are, I don't know what does.
Mm-hmm.
I just like the one answer where they asked, you know, what the Glazers are going to do in terms of getting communication with the fans. And I think his answer was, well, they're going to be doing, you know, whatever they can as soon as possible, end of the season. Well, that's not as soon as possible then. It's, you know, can't have it both ways.
Mm-hmm.
It just summed up the ownership to me. Just a faceless regeneration club who's coming to the camera, one of their boys backing them.
Yeah. What do you think about Casey Stoney leaving and the treatment of the women's team in terms of the facilities and how the club has treated them? I've got to have absolute respect for her. Honestly, she's gone up in my estimations to literally quit before the season finished.
Just shows their integrity, you know, and respect. Like I know you can't always come out and you can't say what you want to in front of your bosses, but you know it doesn't mean you have to praise them. Like you said earlier, already in the show, you know, sometimes Ollie comes out and he almost, he almost praises them in some of the things he says with the relationship he got. You know, I understand you can't come out and say they're useless and all the rest of it, but you know, you can just say, yeah, I've got a good working relationship or whatever it may be.
And that's it. Keep it at that. Don't come out and tell us, oh, they've backed me. When have they backed you? Why didn't they back you last season?
Yeah.
Why are you still not making use of your squad? Why are you, if they backed you last season, why are you coming out after the Leicester game saying, "Oh, if you want to be close to City, we need to win the, we need to improve the squad." If they backed you, why are you saying that? It's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's
The only
ridiculous.
thing I would say, guys, and I don't know if you agree, is when I look at the Casey Stone, is so she's now announced that she's resigning, and I think she's got linked straight away with the Arsenal role. I think that's the difference, that she knows that she can resign, she can make her points, leave with her head held high, got her integrity, the respect there.
Fantastic coach. She's the absolute
That's the
fantastic
thing.
coach.
But if Ollie did the same, where's he going?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I think that is the difference, and that's what the integrity holds.
Yeah, that's true, to be honest with you. I mean, I can see maybe other countries, maybe, he's highly regarded because most United will finish. He made United finish the top 4 2 seasons in a row. And that might be something for other supporters. In Italy, maybe he might get a job in Spain. David Moyes could get a job in Spain.
Yeah.
I'm sure Ollie's definitely getting a job in Spain. You know what I mean? And David Moyes got a job. So at the end of the day, you never know. But to me, Casey Stoney, what she did with that team was amazing. In the first time of Man United, we're in the second division in the Championship of the Women's League, and she brought them straight up promotion, by winning that league. And she's had a difficult season. Even everything was going on behind the scenes. Mm-hmm. This team, Man United women's team, have put amazing entertainment, and at times was challenging for the league. Only maybe 3-4 months ago, they were really challenging for this league. But if you're treated abysmally by the lack of facilities, Lee is further out, is proper out of Manchester, Lee, and that's why they have to play games, and they're not properly. Carrington is just for the men's team and the different youth teams. Yeah. It's not proper integrated to have the women's to make feel comfortable to have a proper women's team interact and make that a home training base. And that just shows you the lack of structure is absolutely shocking. You know what? You know what I mean? Georgie, big up Georgie B says West Brom might need a manager. Why is Big Sam left? Is Big Sam quit?
Yeah,
I don't think it's been announced, is it?
I don't think so. I think he's still in the job. I think he's still in the job, but
it's still there. It's just whether he's going to carry on.
They might sack him, but I'm not sure. But he's still there.
Yeah. I mean, of course. We talked about it earlier. I mean, we talked about it. I mean, every time Man United concede a corner or a set piece, my heart's in my mouth. Because we do half and half. We don't do all zonal, right? Yeah. We do half and half, and I'm sick of half and half. You either go all zonal, right, or you go and attack the ball. To me, the biggest thing is then you come say you're the culprit. Like tonight, we know that was Pogba was Fabinho, Bobby's. Pogba was on it.
Firmino,
yeah. I mean, Firmino. That's what happened. Firmino got rid of Pogba, and then he goes and scores. Mm-hmm. So that's what I'm saying to you. Then we can look at players and go, but we concede even with Maguire in the team. Sorry, Maguire, but we concede from corners. How many times have we got bullied in set pieces and corners with Maguire in the team?
Countless times, many times.
People can't do anything. Even tonight, they'll be like, "Oh, would he have stopped any of those corners? Would he have won some of the headers?" No, I don't think so.
I don't think so.
He usually gets bullied.
The one bad one I can remember is the one against Sheffield United where we lost 2-1 at home.
Listen, I don't know. So I just answer this question. Samuli says, "Do you think there could be something in Ollie's contract?" No, listen. All he has to say, I have a good working relationship with the owners. That's all he has to say. But for him to come out, they're really good. They've backed me. Don't come out with that shit. Do not, Ollie.
But Nerdy, do you really think he's smart enough? Listen, what kind of manager, let's be honest, but let's just break it down. What kind of manager is smart enough to play the owners and also to play the fans? You've got to be a very skilled guy.
No, I don't think it's the Irfan. You're making it out. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Irfan. You're making this like it's like rocket science. No, it isn't. All he has to say in the first interviews, he said, "I've got a good working relationship with him." But when the game got cancelled, he was coming out in the next. They've backed me. They've backed me. They're good people.
Yeah, so wait a second. So that explains that he's a bit of a yes man. Let's be honest. He's a bit of a yes man. But that's what I'm saying.
To be fair, how can we blame Fergie? Fergie was a yes man as well. Fergie invented there was no value in the market.
Yeah. Fergie was a yes man too. Fergie was a yes man. But Fergie was a winner. Fergie was a winner. But I would also say what Fergie was lucky is that he only had Arsenal on his case, or maybe Chelsea. He didn't have all these other teams on his case. Obviously City came at the end. Now
but don't forget how good Chelsea were.
Different thing now. It's a different game now. It's a whole different level of competition now. So like I said, I do blame Ferguson for some of the ills. I blame Ferguson for Moyes. I don't.
I mean, the way Fergie thought. To me, that's where some part of me thinks, did Fergie actually think David Moyes could do a job? I mean, that to me is one of the judgments. It's exactly as Fergie. Fergie, like, when Fergie got things wrong,
he got wrong.
Absolutely wrong. Because remember when he said about Phil Jones? He said Phil Jones. Yeah, he said Phil Jones is going to captain England, and Phil Jones is the new like Edwards. You know, what I mean,
Duncan Edwards.
Yeah. I mean, you know what? SM has got here. I mean, I don't know. This is a stat, and I don't know where he got the stat from, but if it's true, it's absolutely shocking. We have competed on set pieces on 17 different teams.
Wow.
Set pieces to 17 different teams this season.
Wow.
What it says here.
17. How are they impossible?
Okay, so look at that stat, 17 already. So who do you blame for that?
That's the coach. That's the coach. Yeah, it's coaching. Or the players are not taking in what the coaches are telling them. Yeah.
But Nuruddin 17 times to 70 different teams.
I mean, Georgie B here is backing Fergie, Sir Alex Ferguson, as respectfully. No, we're not his friends, but so we'll prefer to him as Sir Alex Ferguson, the Knight of the Realm. Wasn't Moyes Fergie's sixth choice? Well, to be fair, Fergie did try to get Guardiola. He did.
Yeah.
I know that. He did
and
try.
Ancelotti, I think.
Yeah, I think Ancelotti as well. I did think that. I think he tried to get. I think he tried to get
Guardiola. I think Guardiola. Yeah, Guardiola. Yeah, Guardiola. I know for sure would try to get him.
And then obviously we showed the Jurgen Klopp around. Woodward took him around and said, "This is Man United. It's like Hollywood.
Yeah,
and you won't be able to wear tracksuits." What does that tell you?
You know, one of the managers that I've thought that could take Ole's job, is Luis Enrique. If you guys are familiar with him, the manager of Spain.
Yeah, listen, me and Irfan are old enough. I don't know about Deccan United to see Luis Enrique playing. We were playing.
He's a proven manager. You know, won the Champions League with Barcelona, but you know.
But to be fair, Malcolm, I'll come back on that one. I think that Barcelona team, I think you could have managed that Barcelona team and they would have won the treble. I'm telling you, I don't know. I don't know. I don't think so. Me personally, maybe he is. Maybe, but all I remember when he went to Rome, he was at Rome, didn't he? He went to Rome and he was gamble. So
yeah.
Well, anyway, guys, here we go. We've got a great comment from Samuli, and he says, at well-run clubs such as Dortmund, the manager never comments about transfers. At United, all he gets bombarded. Because you know why? Do you know the reason why, Samuli? Because they've got the CEO always comes out and faces up, right? He always comes out and is giving interviews, and their director of football is always there to talk to the fans, communicate to communicate with the fans, with the players, to everybody, to the media. So that's the difference. Here we've got owners who never talk. We have CEO who hired a spin doctor. You know what I mean? Propagandists like Neil Ashton, right? Propagandists like Neil Ashton, and then we got owners who never spoke to us in 16 years. So the manager at Man United always gets the question because Man United don't put anybody else up to come and speak to the fans.
I mean, if you look at last season, like during the Project Restart, like a lot of questions were circulating around earlier about how about the Sancho transfer, and he was coming to say like, oh, I can't talk about other players transfers or something like, you know,
other teams players.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was saying. So I feel like,
to be fair, it is unfair. I mean, one thing, I hated him at United. I never liked him, and he did come out and say, Jose Mourinho said, there's nobody there comes out and talks to anybody. Nobody communicates with the fans or with you know what I mean, with the media. He did say that after Man United sacked him. He did say that. That's one thing we've got to be honest, because we didn't like him. We didn't like him. I mean, he sent me down, like he gave me sleepless nights with that absolute football and the football that he is, and what he was doing, how he was taking the mick out of us. But he was 100% correct on this one. And he also said, him and Van Gaal both said, when you ask for certain players, you get the club. John Merton, now we know this Merton guy was buying. So the past 8-9 years, this John Merton guy was buying players for these managers. They never get the players they've asked for. That is a fact as well.
But Noreen, of course, anybody who knows United knows that. Anybody knows that they're not getting. He's not getting the players he's asking for.
Irfan, I'm sorry to say, but some of the fans will tell you that's that's why they got some of them have got Ollie out agenda. That's why I'm not Ollie in, Ollie out. I don't think by game. But nobody can tell me that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is ever going to sign a player like Donny van der Beek and then not playing all season in the Premier League. You're not going to. I'm sorry, that's not what's going to happen. Gary Neville, professional player, Van der Sar, all Man United legend. They're all like, what the hell is going on? They're like, what is going on? Anyway, guys, listen, we're coming to the end of the show. Just on the last point, I'll go around and I'll start with Deco. Deco, what have you got? Are you hopeful about the Europa League final? Even if Maguire makes it, he doesn't make it. Do you think it could be a situation like where Spurs rushed and started Kane and he was useless against Liverpool? Do you think we could be like that, or do you think the Bailly and we need to get Bailly to get match fitness and maybe need to give after tonight's performance, maybe give Tanzebi and see if Bailly to Tanzebi can do something, because at least. We know the attackers from Villarreal are quite tricky guys. They're not, you know what I mean? They're tricky guys. You know what I mean? They're skillful, they're dribblers. And do you think maybe we should give them the chance?
I agree with Irvin earlier when he said about Tuanzebe. For me, he should have played a lot more. When I look at him, I just think he's got everything needed. If he can stay fit with the right coaching, he's got the tools. So I would have loved to have seen him have a consistent run of games, especially next to Maguire. I think he complements him. So if we can get him a run of games, see how he does. Because I thought he was good against. Who did he play? Leicester. I thought he played quite well against Leicester. So we can get him in the game and have a run. I think that would be good. But I can see a situation where we're trying to rush back Maguire. I think today is going to really sort of scare the coaches and the management into trying to get him back as quick as they can. And we know what Rashford's like. We know what Maguire's like. They'll play through the pain barrier. They'll say they're ready to go even if they're not. And Ollie's probably going to play him. So it's just whether he can last and how we go. I'm a bit worried, though. When I look at today's game, I worry we're going to get a Seville situation where they kind of they'll soak it up and then they'll just counter on us. Or we'll get done on a set piece or something like that. Mm-hmm. I can see a game similar to Seville last year in the semi-finals where we should have won the game.
I thought we were brilliant in that game, to be fair.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably the best I've seen Fred, Bruno, and Pogba play as a free.
Yeah.
And to be fair, since then, we've probably seen that twice. But
yeah, and I thought we did everything. We did everything but put the ball at the back of the net. Yes, Ollie, apparently Ollie's asked odds. I mean, this is laughable, really. I mean, I got a lot of love and respect for Ollie, but Solskjaer, when asked about Newcastle, that only Newcastle and West Brom conceding more goals at home this season. When we get our fans back, we're going to tighten that up. I mean, I don't know what the fans are going to do. The fans are not going to come on the pitch. The fans, I'm sorry, the fans can't do that. Windy says that people need to recognise since Fergie, Ollie has possibility in entire organisation. No, Windy, we said that. We recognise that.
We said that. From
the academy. I said that as well. And you know, listen, we understand that. But at this moment in time, what we're saying, it's not just about the manager. We're questioning the structure of this club. With this structure, I've always said, with this owners and structure, Man United are not going to win a league anytime soon. I'm sorry to say, they're not. We're not even going to sniff one. We're not going to sniff one. And what I mean by sniff one, that means are we 4 or 5 points behind? If we lose, I mean, that's what you call proper sniffing. Sniffing a title. Not 12 points or 10 points. I'm talking about 4 or 5 points. Then that's a proper sniff, because if we would have got 3 points there, we would have only been 2 points behind. Malcolm, I'll come to you next.
So
Do you think Harry? Do you think we'll get what with Harry Kane? What happened with Tottenham in that final against Liverpool? Do you think we'll rush him back in, and then do you think that's a massive risk, or do you think after Lindelof's performance, Lindelof should sit out the next 2 games, and we should try give Bailly and Tuanzebe 2 games together? What do you think?
I mean, now that Maguire is out, I think we need to start playing Tuanzebe a little bit more. You know, just you can't just play Tuanzebe for just 1 game, and expect him to put in a good performance because he's it's only 1 game, so he know he's gonna be rusty. So I just hope I see a little bit more of him towards the end of the season. I like to see him against the Villarreal game. I'm actually starting to get worried about that game, that final against Villarreal, because I feel like they're gonna sit back and try a little bit of smart moves, quick passing, and then 1 ball of the top, boom, they score. And they could do it all over again. They could do it again. 1 ball of the 2 balls of the top, 2-0, and that could be game over. So, and I'm thinking that if Maguire is not fit, I just feel like we need Maguire, at that game, because if Maguire is not fit, I just don't trust Bayer and Lindelof, those 2 centre backs, to do the job.
That'd be interesting. Irfan, I'll come to you. One thing I will say, I'll just say quickly. Nicky Butt is a footballing guy. Stoney, you know what I mean? Casey Stoney is a football person, and they both left United. What does that tell you about this Man United structure? So Nicky Butt and Casey Stoney, both footballing people, and what they saw, regardless whatever Ollie puts on their face, and I'll come back to Windy Gran on that. Both of them, both of them got sacked. So both of them left. Both of them were given no, no choice but to quit the club, to leave the club. Irfan, I'm coming to you. Do you think it's worth rushing, or do you think we should go with Bailly?
No. I looked at the ankle injury, and there's no way he's going to be ready for the final. It would be a miracle if he is, because you can't just stick a guy in who's not played for 3 or 4 games. You can't do it. You can't risk it. Okay. Now I watched Villarreal play, and here's the problem I've got with that game. We lost against Leicester. We lost against Liverpool. Unless we don't have 2 good games against Fulham and Wolves, we're in trouble. We're in trouble. And the way that game, the way the final is already panning out, we're strong favourites, and because we're strong favourites, that's why I'm very worried. Because all it takes is 1 mistake by one of our guys, and they score, and they'll put 10 behind the ball and stop us from playing. That's what they'll do. Yeah, they're organised. They've got no speed, but they're organised. Okay, And so here's the problem. You can't have Maguire playing. Right, you have to get your guys, but the problem is he's never going to play Tuanzebe and Bailly together. He ain't going to do that. He's going to stick with Lindelof. He sees Lindelof as number 2 king at the back after Maguire. And the problem I've got as a support of the team as well is that the only problem I have with Tuanzebe and Bailly is that they just don't have the passing ability constantly when they defense. They have the defensive skill, but they don't have the ball out. They're not that calm on the ball. Bailly's better than Tuanzebe on the ball. Tuanzebe's a bit shaky on the ball. Making pass. He reminds me a bit of Chris Smalling in a way. It gives me the jitters, but I think as a defender, he's brilliant. He's very fast and very good. So here's the problem we got. It's only for us to lose. And if our confidence is going down like it is at the moment with 2 defeats, then the pressure's going to build on Villarreal. And we cannot play Maguire. If Maguire was playing the next game or the last game of the season, if he played in it, then I'd give him a chance just for stability's sake, because he's played every game, because he's become like the standard bearer of Man United, the sort of like the guy, he's become, because he plays every game, Nuruddin. He plays every game.
Listen, but to me, the guy's got mistaken him all the time, and we still concede goals. Like we said, we conceded that many goals at home. He's not played for 2 games, and we're all thinking now, but it shows you West Brom and Newcastle have conceded more, or the same amount of goals. Harris Kupan, she's left already. She's left. It's not she's leaving. Apparently, it's not apparently. She's left already. So both of them have won. Both her and Nikki, and they're both footballing people, and that tells you something. But it's interesting to see Sky. You know what? Changing their tune tonight, getting the communication person out, and that. But just to sum up, great turnout. I'd like to thank Malcolm. I'd like to Deco 90. It's brilliant to actually hear their voices. You know, I've been interacting with these two guys for a while. Now that you've been on, guys, and I'd like to also tell you all the rest of you in the comments, happily, I'm going to do another phone-in show, so you'll all come and have your say about Man United. I'm happy to interact with you guys, because without you guys, the community is not there, I'm afraid. This community can't be just me and Irfan or Mike, or you know, Saeed when he comes on here. But you know what? Big up to everybody. Big up to Flawless. Big up to all the other brothers, all the other YouTubers. And I would like to say massive, huge thank you to everybody that turned up for the protest today. We did everything to try to make good trouble. Good trouble. That's what we did. We tried to make good trouble. And I'm so proud of every Man United fan that was out there today, making their voices count and getting out there and saying Glazers out. Old Trafford was just a fortress. I've never seen that much police in my life outside Old Trafford as I see today. You know what I mean? There were so many police, horses, security with dogs. It was super. I didn't know security firms are allowed huge dogs. I mean, honestly, part of it was like Central Baghdad. You know what I mean? It was a fortress. I mean, that's what I'm thinking. It's a shame, isn't it? I mean, Gary Neville might have said in the commentary, but I wish United defend as well. United as a team and United as a midfielders play the way that the security and the police played today at the protest, because they were not messing about. There was tight lid, very tight lid. But
I don't know if you've seen though. I seen on my Twitter that apparently they reckon that cost about £1 million.
Well, and the one thing about the fans, the best chant. We'll do this every day. We'll do this every week. That was the best fan. That was the best chant for them to protest. We'll do this every week. We do this every week. That's what they were saying, and I got to big them all up. You know, I big up to everybody, man. Big up to everybody who turned up. Thank you again to Irfan, the Deco. This is the headquarters of the Glazers Out campaign, guys. Please like, share, and subscribe. Please smash a like on this video. I mean, there you go. We've got two fans here, two guys who interact with all the different channels on Saeed TV, or Mr. Aaron UTD, or Sarcasm City. You know what I mean? And both of them guys have come and had their say tonight. Both of them, because everybody's opinion counts, guys. Every one of you have an opinion. We all love this club. We all have to stay united. They could buy Sancho, Haaland, Kane, whatever. Glazers out, mate. Win, lose, or draw. Glazers out. Glazers out. Peace, love, and light to every one of you guys. And big up to all those again who turned out. And I'd like to say massive thank you to Casey Stoney and Nicky Butt for their services. But we all know that structure is shambles, innit? Love. And you know what? Eid Mubarak to all the people out there as well.
Yeah, Eid Mubarak as well.
Eid Mubarak, man. Come on.
All my family out there, all over the world. All the people out there. And big thing this way to say, our heart breaks, our minds, our hearts are with, and our thoughts are with the people of Palestine. And solidarity with Palestinians, solidarity with all those people who are resisting occupation and ethnic cleansing and the massacre and the genocide we see taking before us. The only thing we've got for them is our solidarity. Those of you in Manchester and those of you who are interested, there's a huge protest at Platfields Park on Saturday the 15th. So make sure you get that, guys. Peace, love, light, free Palestine.